Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin today, guys. Alright, so in yesterday's video, we were watching this triangle pattern or falling wedge. I don't know, I would call it a triangle pattern. We had resistance, resistance, support, support, giving me these two trend lines right there. We had a bottom and then we had a top. And I was talking about how we broke that top going to the upside. And I was targeting from the top to the bottom of the triangle, something like this. I was also looking at the volume. I was kind of skeptical on the volume, but I was targeting from the top to the bottom of the triangle, dragging it to the breakout, or maybe something like this. I think I can't remember. Something like that. That's where I got that line from, and I was saying that it kind of lines up with that .185 area. That is the Fibonacci retracement level. So if we zoom out, I'm still on the daily time frame. We've been looking at this on this channel for a while. We had this big run up here. We kind of topped out over here and we had a trend line right here. We broke that trend line going to the downside. Ever since then, I've been thinking, or ever since then, I set up the Fibonacci retracement level with the Fibonacci tool right here, drag from the bottom to the top. That gives me those levels to watch. So we have this one, let's see, what is it? I forget what the actual numbers. It's the 23%, the 38%, the 50%, 61%, and the 78%. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, we watch these levels. I've been watching these levels. I've been dollar cost averaging in as we go down, so it gives me levels to watch. And these levels act as support and resistance. So when we started coming up yesterday, I was thinking this might act as resistance. If we can break through this, then the next spot that I'll be looking at is the next one going to the upside, which is .248. And if you watch this channel, then I talk about this all the time. But yeah, so right now we came up to that .185 level, the 78%. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of where we're chilling at right now. Let's see if we could break through it. If we can, then the next spot that I'd be looking at is .248. But yeah, we did break that triangle. We did kind of hit the target that I was kind of looking at. I didn't really call it a target yesterday, but I was thinking it was mainly the volume that was kind of like making me think that, that made me skeptical on it, because we had declining volume and we finally did get a pop after I made the video. I mean, like, not a big pop, but like we did get a little bit more volume. But anyways, we broke that triangle going to the upside. We kind of hit the target. Let's see if we could break through .185 and continue on to .248. I think the other spot that we'd be having to break through is the previous high over here, sitting at around .195, or the wicks are all the way up to .205. So if we could break through these levels, because I was talking about yesterday, we need to break through this one, and we pretty much did. After that, we had this nice big green candle. We broke through those two levels, hit .185. Let's see if we could break through this level and this level, .185, .195, and I think, what was it, .205? Something like that. Those are the next levels that, like, they might give us trouble. Like right here, if we start heading down, then this will have acted as resistance, and we'll have to kind of look at the previous bottoms, these orange lines that I've been looking at because of these previous bottoms. And then, so yeah, basically we're looking at the past. We're looking at the previous highs for resistance, something like that. Well, also the Fibonacci retracement level. And then if we start heading down, then we'd be looking at the previous supports. And these supports kind of came in into play, as you see, the bodies, first line, and then the wick, second line. Right here, we kind of got a bounce on that one. And then we held support on that second orange line right here and got a bounce to the upside. So yeah, those, like, the previous supports come into play and the previous resistances though. So we have to kind of keep both of those things in mind. Also the Fibonacci retracement level. Let's see what happens. Are we going to go down or are we going to break through it? I think this will be like a line right here that if we could break through it, then it'll be good. If we get rejected on it, then we'll kind of know. Also, the other thing that I'm looking at is we have So on the daily time frame still we have support. We have support giving me this other trend line, something like that. So we're still on an uptrend technically in the shorter time frame. Um, if as long as we can stay above this trend line, then we can something like this. Even if we start heading down, maybe we'll get support in it and push to the upside still. This is the main thing that I wanted to show you though, which is the weekly time frame, the 9 moving average. We've been talking about this for a long time on this channel. Let's go ahead and delete pretty much everything right now, and we'll come back to those trend lines. So I just want to focus on this 9 moving average right now. So I've been talking about this all throughout this area here at least. Maybe even over here, something like that. It's been probably like a month or two, probably more than a month, probably like 2 months maybe, where let me just tell you what's going on. Okay, so we have the 9 moving average right here, this blue line. When we break above it, like over here, then maybe we can get support on it and use it as support and bounce to the upside. When we break below it, it acts as resistance. Every time we came into contact with it over here, it was holding us down, acting as resistance right there, that blue line. Right here, boom, 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 acting as resistance. We weren't able to close these candles above that blue line right there. But check out what just happened. But, I mean, we're not out of the woods yet. But... and I was talking about this yesterday's video. We're testing the weekly 9 moving average, or we were about to. We were a little bit, we weren't even close to it. We were close to it, but we did have a little bit of space. We actually broke through it, and now we cleared the weekly 9 moving average. However, we still have 4 days and 12 hours. So this could just come back down. But if we can close this candle above this 9 moving average, like if we could stay above, let's see, somewhere around 0.175. If we can stay above that level and close this candle in 4 days and 12 hours as I'm making this video, then maybe we can start getting support on it. Maybe we might have to retest it and then start bouncing to the upside, kind of like we did over here. We broke last year. We had the 9 moving average, the blue line. We broke through it right here pretty much. We got a nice little bump. Bump to the upside. We stayed above it. We closed this candle above it. We came down, tested it, kind of went sideways for a little bit. And then once we tested it a few times and it got support on it, that's when it really started to push up. That's when we really got like some nice green candles. So that's what I'm kind of hoping happens again. I feel like this is a really good sign right now that we did. I've been waiting for this for a long time. If you guys watch my videos, I've been talking about this, how we were coming down. I was watching the 9 moving average. It was kind of high above us, especially like on this candle. And I was thinking like it would be nice for us to go sideways for a little bit, ease into it, then break through it, stay above it, and then get support on it and start bouncing to the upside. I'm not guaranteeing that's gonna happen, but it is the first step in good things. You know what I mean? Like, so we had the 9 moving average, we broke above it. Let's see if we could stay above it. Then let's see what happens the next candle. Can we can we get support on it? Then maybe we can really start pushing to the upside. I think that'll be a good sign for Dogecoin. The only thing though is if we jump over the monthly time frame, we have the monthly 9 moving average right here, and we're still under the monthly 9 moving average, and the monthly comes in around 0.226 or something like that. So yeah, let me switch over to Bitcoin real quick just to show you what Bitcoin's doing, because if Bitcoin's doing good, then like Dogecoin is probably going to have a better chance as well. And check out the monthly 9 moving average on Bitcoin. So we have this blue line right here. Check out where we got a bounce at, guys. We came down, tested it, found support on it, and got a nice little bounce to the upside on Bitcoin as well. Let's go to like the weekly time frame. Same with the weekly, or not the same with the weekly, but kind of similar to what we're looking at on Dogecoin. We have the blue line right here. Over here, we bounced above it, getting support on it, got a nice little bounce to the upside, started testing it in this area, kind of went in and out a little bit, went below it over here clearly. Let's see, let me just draw it so you can see, because I have that trend line right there. But that's where that blue line is. So basically we were bouncing, we fell below it. It was holding us down, like I was talking about, and then went down, went sideways a little bit. Now we broke above. Whoops. Now we broke above that weekly 9 moving average right here and got that nice, beautiful candle. So let's see if we can continue to bounce to the upside. And like I said, on the monthly time frame, we bounced on it like perfectly. So this could be a good sign for Dogecoin, because Bitcoin looks like it got a nice little bounce. Let's see if Bitcoin can continue to bounce up. The next spots that I'd be looking at for Bitcoin is like this level and this level, which are sitting at around 102,000 and 109,000. If we could break through those levels, then we could really get more confident on crypto in general. If we might go sideways longer, I'm not sure. I mean, I thought the bull run was going to be over and we were going to start like retracing down to like 50% or something. I mean, it's still possible. But like I thought we were gonna come down to these levels or maybe even lower, and then take another 4 years and then start getting that bounce. It's like I don't know, because we just came out of a halving year. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This is a good sign though. Technically bouncing on the monthly moving average, that looks good. Like I was saying, as long as if we can start breaking these ones, then that's gonna be even better, and then we can start going even higher. So, and maybe make another push to the upside before the bull run's actually really over. Or I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not. It's hard to say, guys. But what we're looking at is the technicals. You know what I mean? So like these, and we're looking at these indicators. We're looking at trends. We're looking at Fibonacci retracement levels. All this stuff that I'm trying to show you guys. So, because I could just tell you what kind of the signs are. Like I said, the 9 moving average right here, we broke above that. That's a good sign. When we fell below it over here and getting resistance on it, this was a bad sign. Pushed us to the downside. Right here, good sign. Let's see if we can hold above that weekly 9 moving average though. And I think that's the main point of this video, is we broke above that weekly 9 moving average. Maybe good things are about to happen with Dogecoin. I can't promise, but we need to close that candle above the weekly 9 moving average, and then we can get more confident. Let's go to like the 4-hour time frame, and let me show you what I'm kind of thinking in the meantime as well, because let's go back to the daily time frame and let's draw those lines that I was watching yesterday. I think it was something like this, right? Something like that, and then something like this. So we had this like triangle, falling wedge pattern, whatever you want to call it. It was going down. We're getting lower highs, lower lows, kind of getting tighter and tighter a little bit. We broke that resistance going to the upside. What I'm looking at now is the support. So we had support, or maybe support, giving us a trend line like this. This is on the daily time frame again, but we have these nice candles right here. What we could do as well is go to the 4-hour time frame, go a little bit deeper, or kind of zoom in a little bit, should I say? And I'm on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see. Let me go ahead and adjust this line right here, something like this. Maybe something like that. That's one trend line that we can look at. Like I was saying, as long as we don't break below that, then we're like, I mean, we still have a chance. We also have support, and possibly support. So that gives us a couple other lines. We can get the trend line tool, drag from that point to that point right here, using these points to form a trend line. Boom. So that gives us that trend line. If we could stay above this, good thing. I mean, that's still a good sign. And then we also have support, something like that. We also have another kind of steeper trend line. It's going something like this. So let's do something like this, maybe. I don't know. This one's a little. Let's see. I did it before the video started, and it didn't look. It kind of made sense a little bit more, but something like this, I'd say. So if we start breaking this trend line, going to the downside, it could be that we come down and bounce, or it could be the sign that we could be like starting to go lower. I mean, just going down in general, breaking the trend basically, and we might start setting up a downtrend. But we have this trend below us to maybe find support on. If we break that one, we still have this one to find support on, but it could be a first sign that, like, if we start breaking this, like if it's not able to continue to push up and bounce on that line and start breaking through here, like I was saying, the 185 level is a Fibonacci retracement level. They act as resistance sometimes. They act as support and resistance. If we could break through it, then when we come, like when we actually break through it and come back down, if we have to come back down and test it, it might act as support and bounce to the upside. But right now, since we're below it, kind of like that 9 moving average, then it might act as resistance and it might reject us and come down. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. And this trend line right here, it's not a perfect trend line, honestly. Let me like go to the 1 hour time frame and kind of look at something like this. I mean, we might have already broken the trend. Let's see. Maybe something like this. You know what I mean? Because this actually makes a little bit more sense, because we have this point right here and this point right here giving us this line right there. So we kind of, I mean, on the 1 hour time frame, we have this trend. We broke it going sideways. If you watch the video, you know that just because we broke it going sideways isn't the end. What I like to do is really watch the bottom, and then I like to watch the top, something like that, of kind of where we're at. So like, okay, we broke the trend, we came down, found support, came down, found support. We can use that bottom support as a line, and if we break these lines, and then we came up over here, let's see. Okay, so we have that support kind of figured out, right? We came up, this was kind of our top. If so then we could draw the line on the top. Basically, we have a top and we have a bottom. If we break it going to the upside, this could have just been a fake out where we broke that going sideways. You know what I mean? So if we break it going to the upside, if we break this resistance, excuse me, and start getting higher highs, then maybe this was just a fake out. If we break it to the bottom going to the downside, this could be the first sign. Breaking this trend right here, right there, going sideways, could have been the first sign that we are gonna like start to come back down, and that 185 level was resistance and it gave us trouble, and now we have to come down and test supports again. We had a nice little run right here. I mean, this was a nice little run from the bottom to the top. Let's go ahead and just measure that for fun. Something like right here to like right here. That was a good 20%. So, I mean, a 20% is a pretty good run. You know, I don't know, whenever there's like decent runs like that, it's definitely possible that like people are going to start taking profits, and it's going to start coming down. But like I said, I like watching the top. I like watching the bottom of those little points that we kind of figured out. So we had the top right here. We had these supports right here. If we break the support, then maybe we'll come back down and test this trend line. If we break that trend line, the next trend line, and so on and so forth. The other thing that I'm looking at are the Fibonacci retracement levels. I've been looking at 10 cents for a while, but now that we're kind of pushing to the upside, way less confident on this over here. I had a limit order for 10 cents for a while. Ever since we broke the 185 moving average coming down, I think ever since like this area right here, like maybe right here is when I put up that 10 cent limit order, but we never filled it. We came down, found support over here, came up, broke through that 185 level, broke back below it, kind of went sideways in general for a while, and that's what I've been kind of like, you know, thinking is that on the, let's go back to the weekly. Ever since there was another pattern too, though. Let's go ahead and go back to the daily time frame, and let me talk about this other pattern that we were looking at for a while. We had a falling wedge. It was something like this, I believe. Something like this. So we had support, resistance. I don't know if that was perfectly the way it was. Let me see. Anyways, we had a falling wedge. We were bouncing in between those two trend lines. Maybe this one was a little bit more over here, I think. I think that makes a little bit more sense. Where we had the resistance, and then we finally broke through it. Like I'd been talking about this for a while, or before, a couple weeks ago, should I say, ever since we broke through it and started going sideways. I kind of stopped looking at this falling wedge, but this was like the first sign for me too. We had a falling wedge pattern. We broke it going sideways, and that was like kind of my first sign or my first clue that maybe we can start changing direction instead of getting this like bear trend. Maybe we can start going either sideways or get a breakout. Um, okay, so this was the first sign, but then I looked at the weekly time frame and I was looking at that 9 moving average and I was saying, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves because we're still clearly below that weekly 9 moving average. Since we broke here, let's go back to the weekly. Sorry, I just like skipped around. Um, since we broke that falling wedge pattern right here, kind of going sideways. Sorry, let me get my marker. Since we broke it right here, I was thinking, okay, so we're still under the weekly 9 moving average. We're probably I would like for us to go sideways for a little while, just so that way the 9 moving average could come down, get closer to us, get closer and closer. We could ease into it as opposed to trying to like come all the way up and like this candle right here. We tried to come up, test it, and got rejected. We had to like put we had to get, it's like a rocket ship kind of breaking through space. You know what I mean? We had to kind of come up, and we weren't able to break through space. The closer we are to space, then the easier we're gonna break through that gravity or whatever I don't know. It's just an analogy that I'm kind of looking at or kind of saying. But instead of it being far, let it get close to us. Then we'll have an easier time breaking through it. Right now we broke through it. We have to stay above it though. It's possible. Like look at back here. Look what happened over here. We broke through it. All these candles right here. We were like this candle. It wicked all the way. It wicked up right here. This candle wicked up right here. This candle wicked all the way up right here. This candle wicked all the way up right here. Which means that it went up that far, but by the time the candle closed, it came back down and closed the candle below that line. So that's why I'm saying we still have 4 days. We're not out of the woods yet. We still have 4 days and 12 hours for us to do that. Like it's possible that it comes down and we just had a wick. What we want to do is close this candle above that 9 moving average and then get more confident. But like I was saying, we had that falling wedge pattern. We broke it. That was a good sign. But I was looking at the weekly time frame and I was saying we're probably gonna have to go sideways. I was thinking that we might dip down all the way to 10 cents and then like get a nice little bounce back to the upside. But we kind of just went sideways right here. We were able to break that weekly 9 moving average, and now we're just gonna have to wait for this candle to close. Hopefully we can close it above the 9 moving average. Then we can and then we're gonna have to test it again too though. We're gonna have to test. The next couple weeks are gonna be, we're gonna have to find out, see what happens. If we can test it and stay above it, then that'll be a good sign as well. And then we just have to deal with that monthly 9 moving average, which is sitting at around 0.221, somewhere around there. If we could break through that, then boom, then we could really get more confident. But yeah, I was looking at that falling wedge pattern. I was saying like this is one of my favorite patterns. Once we break that going to the upside, or even just once we break it, then that's going to be a good sign. Look at what happened over here last year. We had the same pattern, similar pattern. We had a falling wedge pattern. We broke that trend line going to the upside. We had a little bit of trouble. We had to go sideways for a little bit after we broke that falling wedge pattern. But once we started getting support on the weekly, let's go back to the weekly. We broke above the weekly on these candles. We started getting support on it. Then we broke to the upside. That's when we really started pushing to the upside. So yeah, let's see what happened on the monthly last time. Yeah, the monthly didn't we did have to like kind of test it on this one too, didn't we? So we broke below it on these candles, stayed below it for like maybe like 2 candles, tested it, broke through it on this candle, and then got support on it. Boom, right here. And that's when we really started pushing to the upside. Came down over here, tested it, broke through it. Let's see if we could break through it again. And that guy, I was saying 0.221. That'll be the next important level that we have to break through as far as 9 moving averages are concerned. And then if we go to the Fibonacci retracement levels, 185, it looks like we're kind of creeping past it right now. But if we could break through 185 decisively, then I'll be looking at these previous tops right here. But also I'd be looking at 0.248. And same thing, I'll be looking at trend lines. Let's say it creates a trend line, does something like that. If we break that, if we come up to this line right to the Fibonacci retracement level at 0.248 and start breaking it, then like I was just talking about, we might be looking at 0.185 again. But if we could break through it, next one, so on and so forth. Like I said, these Fibonacci retracement levels act as resistance and sometimes support depending on if you can break above them or not. If we could break above them, that's going to be a good sign. We could look at the next one. If we break above this one, we could look at the next one. If we so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But sometimes we come up to it, get rejected, and have to come back down. We haven't even touched this level, but if we could break through it, maybe something like that, then do this, then do this. The point is these act as good places to kind of as trading opportunities, in my opinion. Sometimes they act as resistance. We watch the trend line. If it starts breaking the trend going down, then I kind of start looking at it going to the downside and start looking at it as a potential support. Right now our supports are these kind of orange lines, which are sitting at around 0.153, 0.142. We've kind of been bouncing on those levels pretty much. And yeah, so hopefully you guys are learning stuff. Hopefully we can break through this 180 moving average. I mean, not 180 moving average. This 185 level, Fibonacci retracement level, like I was saying, if you go back, we have these Fibonacci retracement levels because we had this run. We got the Fibonacci retracement tool, drug from the bottom of the run to the top of the run. I've been watching these levels right here, these yellow lines, as places to excuse me, to dollar cost average. Like I was telling you, if you've been watching my videos, like in this area, they acted as support, resistance, support, resistance, kind of some support, but you know, places to dollar cost average, places to target going to the upside as well. Targets going up and down, in my opinion. Excuse me. But I think that about does it for this video. Let's see if we can close that weekly 9 moving. Let me sign us off properly. Okay, so let's see if we can close this weekly 9 moving average candle above this weekly. Oh, sorry. Close this weekly candle above this 9 moving average. Then hopefully we get support in it, and maybe we can start pushing to the upside. We probably might still have some time to go though. It might not happen just overnight. But yeah, that's some of the stuff that I'm looking at, some of the signs that I'm looking for. If you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you want to watch the last video where I talked about this weekly 9 moving average, check it out right here. If you're new to trading or looking at charts in general, check out this playlist about TradingView. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.